Hello, everybody. Welcome to our show, Divine Soul Awakening. We are a group of psychics and spiritual mediums coming together to help everyone awaken, align with their higher selves and soul's purpose while lifting up humanity. So, how is everybody doing today?
Whoop, whoop.
Good. Hi,
Yeah.
everybody.
Christy's
So
back,
good.
right? You were with us the last couple weeks, I
Yeah.
think.
I'm
Is this
here.
your first show for the season, the new season?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah,
Welcome
good to
back.
have you
Yeah,
back.
we missed you.
Yeah.
You guys too. It's like, okay. I'm glad to be here.
You're here. That's all that counts. We're here.
Right.
So today's episode is really interesting. It's well, we're going to be talking about and sharing our personal stories on what it means to come out of the spiritual closet. And by that, we just mean, what it means to speak our truth and share, we went through our awakening process and it changed us in many ways and shifted our way of seeing ourselves in the world. And through that process, it's sometimes difficult to open up to people about that or to just know how to share that with others in a way that feels right. And it can be a little nerve-wracking, I think, for some of us. Some of us are a little hesitant to share certain things with certain people that we feel maybe don't understand or might label us in a weird way. Like there might be some kind of negative stigma around that just because it's kind of a newer thing, and maybe people knew us before as a different person. And so I'm sure we all have something interesting to share on that. And we would also love to hear your stories too. And always feel free to comment or ask questions as we go. So that's pretty much the first half of our show. And I think at some point we'll transition on into maybe giving readings, but we're not going to take any questions yet. So we'll let you know when the time is right for that. But I'd like to hand it off to Jenny to start today, because I know Jenny mentioned she has some, she can relate to this topic. And so, yeah, Jenny.
Yeah, I had big fears when I first started awakening and my abilities were starting to show up about what people were going to think, who I was going to share with. At the time I was married and the guy I was married to wasn't really open to channeling or getting messages from past loved ones. And these were starting to come through for me. And I remember being in a very awkward time and space with that because I was having all this stuff happen to me with nobody to share it with, and then um, I don't believe in coincidences. An old friend showed back up in town again who was awakened herself. And I was finally able to share with somebody these things that were happening with me, like the intuitive and the deja vu and hearing things and not knowing at that point that I wasn't losing my mind, that these gifts were actually starting to wake up for me. And the other, it was difficult for me at first to be around people who aren't awake, and like, how do you have a conversation with them when basically, all I want to talk about now is what's going on and the awakenings that I'm having and the changes, and are you seeing these things or hearing these things? And so I still have a little bit of hesitation around people who aren't awakened yet or haven't started awakening yet. And and then I have friends and people who are really religious. And Rachel, you can understand where that's coming from, because we've talked about that before. And am I going to off put somebody by saying that I'm able to speak to non-physical beings or people that have passed on? What does that look like to somebody who is very religious? And one of the last things, and it was really cool, I had a reading with William and my son was visiting, and I had this fear of him hearing exactly what was going on, because what I was asking for was messages from my from ascended masters and angels and my mother. And I started setting up for it, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to let this fly. I am who I am. And that was such a really good moment for me to have that and say, this is who I am. And my son might as well get the whole picture now, because I've been giving him little bits and pieces here and there. And one day he actually said to me, Mom, be careful who you're telling this stuff to, because, you might get a label on you that you don't want, which was, he said it in a loving way, but it kind of got me a little nervous again. So when I had that reading with William,
We have a little issue with sound. Are you guys catching? Is she freezing up?
Yeah, I think Jenny's internet just got hit. Got lots of snowstorms happening out through the Northeast, I guess, in the States. At least we are. We're pretty close to Jenny.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing as well. There's a lot of weather conditions coming in. Well, hopefully she'll find her way back. Yeah.
Oh,
are you there?
I'm back.
Okay.
That was weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you going, Jenny, where are you? Yeah, that was strange. So I was, I finally just it's that surrendering to who I am, and knowing that, the closest person in my life is my son. And if he needs to know where I'm at, so that I don't have those times when I'm visiting with him that I feel out of sorts and like I just can't have a conversation with him. And it was really cool, because then the last time he came to visit, he wanted to pull cards. And so this,
Wow.
And my son is a miner for crystals. So he's the one who got me started with all the crystals. And he was more into, the selling of them and all of that, not the metaphysical part of it, but that's been coming in too. So it's sometimes a tricky thing to figure out who do you talk to, who do you share with. And, that's why I've been so grateful for these groups and all of you that I've met through the courses that I've been through, because now I have an outlet to continue to grow. And the more that we practice and the more that we grow and share, and I say, this is who I am, I own the authentic divine being that I am, everything just comes in stronger and stronger. So that's where it's at for me today, to keep working on being the authentic me, the one that, my Christ conscious Jen.
So would you consider yourself fully out there? Everybody knows that you're a spiritual medium and everything you do?
Yeah, I think, I just opened up another doorway, because I put this on my personal Facebook page, and I hesitated when you tagged me in that post. Do I do it? Do I not do it? And I was just like, it's going out, and I've been talking about doing a YouTube channel too. So, it's time to just let go and be who I am, and whoever's going to fall to the side is whoever's supposed to fall to the side. That's a good question, Con. Am I? Yeah, I'm out of the closet.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a relief.
Has anybody said anything to you then? Positive, negative?
Well, I've had a lot of positive feedback from doing this, because more people that I know have been exposed to it and watching this with you guys. And I've had a lot of really good feedback, from doing this with you guys. And when we did the chit chat too with our other little group, I had positive feedback from that. And it's just, the more positive I get, the more that really, that higher vibration comes in. And
I love that. That. So would you say the fears that you had about doing all this, how would you rate them now? Were they warranted?
I would say from a 1 to a 10 now, I'm at a 9.5 of not being fearful. I think it's still that part of me, that let's say the 3D part of me that wants to say, oh gosh, do I really want people to know this? And then, but I can't go back. Yeah. I can't go back. I can only go forward, and I'm ready to keep going forward.
The lid has been lifted.
Yeah. Pandora's box has been opened. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
love
way.
that. Look, oh, the forward momentum is going now. It's just going to keep pushing you forward.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
That's right.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. How about you, Con? Are you fully out of the spiritual closet? Where are you at with things?
Well, I find my old life and my current life are two different things. And my old life, I left Facebook about 7-8 years ago, and I had a separate account which was just to communicate with my teacher in Indonesia, my Tai Chi teacher. And that was the only reason why I had that Facebook account, and I created that hesitantly. But then when all this work started happening about a year and a half ago, I then saw a new person come out. I was a different person because my old life was very corporate. It was business, even though I was open and free and spiritual, but I wasn't who you see today. So for me to come out with the name and the persona as Khan Knight, because y'all know that's not my real name, it's Khan Mustafa. So using that as my brand name it feels more authentic to me. And so the hardest part was on my Zoom setting. It was my business. So in my Zoom, I had my paid account. It had my business name on there. But then I started having Zoom meetings with my entire Tai Chi family and other people. And when they saw the Khan Knight, they're like, "Who's that? What's that?" And at first, I panicked. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And I quickly tried to change the name, and it was all right in the bag. It's like, where's the fear coming from? So I did have a lot of fear, but now it is pretty much all out there. I think you guys remember I shared this with my sister, and I told my sister I was doing this, and she asked me one question: "Are you talking with mom and dad?" Because both our parents passed. "Are you talking with mom and dad?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And she changed the subject and never brought it up again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Right. She's not ready for it, and that's okay. But for me, even my sister is part of my old life, my old world. Yeah, I love my sister. We're still she is my only living family that's really here with me. So I still have a strong connection with my sister, but it's my old self that has a connection, which is very, very awkward and rough, and it has its own limitations. But that's me. Those are my limitations that I'm working on and removing and letting go. And as I do that, I become more open and more spiritually aware as I do that. Yeah. So I would say it's still a work in progress, but at the same time, some people, I am sharing what I'm doing, but some people I don't want to share because I don't think they're deserving of it. You know what I mean? Because this is just such a gift to be able to open up and have that. And it's like, I don't really want to waste my energy talking to you and try to convince you of anything.
Yeah, I view that as like you just maybe feeling intuitively whether that person's really ready for that information. Then if they're not, and you're feeling that they're just not even open enough to receive that in any way, it's just maybe not the right time to share it, in that moment with them. But yeah.
Now, I've had other friends of mine that says, "You know what, Connor, I've seen your channel, and I got to say, I don't resonate with it." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not for you." And that's awesome. Because I didn't send this out to my friends to say, "Hey, subscribe to my channel, watch my stuff." Because they're not the people I want to connect with. They have no idea. They're just like, "What the hell is that?" And that's not deserving for them. It's not, they don't resonate with that. So yeah. But I do find it so important that we cannot, because this is such a fearful state, that we, just as anyone coming out of any closet, we can't do it for them. You can't force anybody to do anything. You got to be ready for it, and it takes time.
Yeah, I agree. It takes time. You have to kind of take the steps that are right for you and feel the nudges that your guides are giving you, and just take it one step at a time. And then usually when you're in alignment, you'll get that support. You'll get that feeling of there's something that comes back to you out of that that just gives you a good feeling and gives you a little bit more confidence the next time you come into contact with someone. And yeah, I find that interesting how we're all kind of moving at our own pace. And I think it's important too, not to judge where other people are at with this process, because we're all at different levels of growth. Like, you don't look at a baby as like, oh, you don't know how to walk yet. You don't understand how to do math yet. You don't look at them like that. You just honor where everybody's at. And then when you put yourself out there, the more that you do that, you automatically attract that soul tribe to you. But you can't attract that to you unless you put yourself out there. So it's a catch-22. It's like a paradox. It's like, so yeah.
But I've also noticed that certain people, I really judge them. I judge the cover, and I do that because we all, that's human experience. We all, and that's what I know from my marketing background, or from development of websites and internet marketing. It's always been, people are judgy. We do have first impressions, and I'm just as guilty that some people that I was judging them, like, oh, like, that guy is just, I have no desire to be around you. And then they'll open up to me and share something with me, and they're doing meditation, they're having visions, like, holy crap, like, you are open. What the hell is happening? Like, and I completely judged them until, they either saw something of mine or I had a conversation with them and just completely opened up and realized that, wow, you really cannot judge somebody of how they look and who they are. It really has woken me up, because you don't know who's coming out of the closet. It's just like looking at somebody, you don't know who's gay, right? And you don't know anyone's medical choices. Like, that's some personal stuff that's underneath the shell. So it's been a big lesson for me in learning that, and humbling as well. It's like, oh yeah, okay, like, and I need to learn not to be so judgy, right?
Yeah.
I'm often surprised the people that start asking me questions, and I'm thinking maybe, that maybe that I wouldn't expect it from this person, and boom, there it is. They start asking the questions about awake, coming awake and remembering things. And so I totally get what you're saying, Con, about that. It's kind of like, do I say something that's going to help somebody? Like, our purpose here is to teach others, to help others keep becoming awake. And if I hold back in certain situations where I think maybe I shouldn't be saying anything, am I missing the mark to help somebody who's scared to death to say something? Because when I first started waking up, I thought I was losing my mind. I wasn't telling anybody what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, in our willingness to share, and the more people that are willing to do that, it does inspire people to do the same. And you just don't know. And so that's the other side of it that you have to think about. Like, you have your fears and your fear of being judged, and then, or people looking at you like you're crazy, or whatever your fear is. And then, someone else might be feeling that same way, and you just being willing to kind of test the boundaries of that relationship with that person, or where they're at, by just planting a seed. And it might be something like, not so out there, but just kind of leading the conversation in a certain direction to get a feel for whether they're open or not. And you'll be surprised. I mean, that's actually how I started to get more confident sharing. It was surprising how many people were actually open that I wouldn't have thought. But I feel like it's because of the awakening. It's like the time is ripe for that. And we're all, in this community, we're kind of getting the downloads to share more for a reason, because we're going to be supported in that. This is the time to share, because this is, what's happening on a grand scale. So if we're not available to do that, then, we might not be able to get more people to wake up or help more people. I mean, that's really our role as a group, I think, as a collective, to raise that vibration. And yeah.
Well, and if we go into the timing of it, hasn't been that long ago, time-wise, that they were burning women thinking they were witches, who were actually gifted people in what we can do now. And it wasn't that long ago. So what's to say that in our DNA makeup, we're still carrying some of that little stuff along with us that kind of makes us hesitate sometimes. I often think about that.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of us have had past lives and
Mm-hmm.
experiences. I mean, I had one in this lifetime, so that is why I don't care anymore because I already went through the worst thing I could go through in my life. That really just prepared me to do what I'm doing now. But at the time, I didn't understand. I knew it was going to come back around somehow, but I just didn't understand. So I guess I'll just jump in a little bit about my kind of experience. But I've talked about it before, so I don't want to spend too much time on my personal story. But basically, I was raised very religious, Jehovah's Witness, and I was excommunicated. And so it was like all I knew my whole life. And I wasn't choosing that, but it just kind of happened. It was just, life events, that's what ended up coming out of it. And it was very traumatic for me. I pretty much lost contact with all of my family and friends, and I just didn't have anybody. I had my mom and my sister, who at the time was like 5, but now she's 21 and we get along very well. But so that was traumatic. It was like, I was forced to start over, and I was forced to look at what I believed. I knew I believed in God. I knew I wanted a relationship with God. I didn't understand. I saw contradictions in the religion. But I was a seeker. I was a seeker of truth. Like I just couldn't let that just be the end of it. I needed to know. And that just propelled me forward to seek out from other sources. And I met my husband, and he had already been on the spiritual meditative path for a while, and he had a lot of teachings to share. And it just really resonated with me. And he ended up being my soulmate, and here we are. But I learned a lot from him. And then just from there, I just started to grow into my own person and develop my own intuitive abilities. And that's what I'm doing now. But yeah, I think having gone through that experience, like, I'm not afraid. Like, I already lost everything, so it didn't kill me. I was younger at the time. I was 25, so it was kind of scary. But it only made me stronger. So that's my message to everybody. The universe is going to push you out of your comfort zone, and usually that's the direction you're supposed to go. So but you have to let go of the fear. You have to let go. You have to let go of what's holding you back. So what's holding your vibration down? What's keeping you? Because I felt a lot of shame and guilt and struggled with that, and depression and anxiety, like all those horrible things to go through after that. And just the more I just let it go and just started to do what I wanted to do, and left the religion behind, the freer I felt, and the more new information came, and new friends, new family. I have a new family that my husband's family are wonderful. They're a huge family and very loving and tight-knit family. And I have like a very perfect life right now. So I'm very grateful. And having gone through that experience, it just kind of it made me who I am today. So you just don't know how things are going to turn out, but you just have to keep going and have to keep seeking that truth, what feels right for you. So that's kind of my story, but I would love to hear from Christy.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Yay. Welcome back.
Thanks. I'm glad to be back. I've just had some circumstances that hadn't allowed me to be here, but it is what it is. And I always try to just go with the flow, and, so I'm here today. So Rachel, you were talking about seeking the truth. And I think a big part of my awakening started about 5 years ago, and I dove into seeking truth. And as a matter of fact, on YouTube, my name was Truth Seeker. And because I researched and researched, I spent a lot of time finding out things that, collectively we've been lied to about, and you can go down these holes for years. So I would find a rabbit hole and go down it for a little while, and then I would go to something else. And, I spent time on several different topics throughout the years. And I got to a point where I was like, I could do this forever, something has to change. And because the rabbit holes never end on any of them, they just keep going and going. Mm-hmm. And so I had switched my perspective a little bit more toward a spiritual outlook. And that's when I came into, I had been meditating, but a different practice of meditation, and hearing, getting some channeling going on and that type of thing, and kind of finding myself a little bit throughout the process. And right now I feel like I'm straddling. It's almost like I have 1 foot in 3D and 1 foot in 5D. And I just kind of try to balance that out. And I feel like that's a place I need to be. I feel like I'm the type of person that, where I live, a lot of people are very closed-minded, and there's not a lot of spiritual people that I am face-to-face contact with. Most of my contact with people that knows kind of the true me are, people on the computer, and that I don't have a physical face-to-face with. And even like Reiki, I know Jenny, you do Reiki too, and it's very awkward around here to try to even initiate Reiki, just because the whole concept of it is kind of, to other people is just a little weird, and they don't really understand it or get it. And so it's hard to, step out into the surroundings that are so closed-minded. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I put myself out there, and that people know, even on my main page, my name is different than my actual name, and people, will come to me and ask me about that, and I'm like, it's a spiritual thing, and it, tell them, it how it has been chosen, kind of like a chosen name for me. And so I try to like be open for everyone, and people, I feel like, I invite people to watch the show and that kind of thing, but I don't feel like people are open to it. Like in my physical space. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a wall for me that I have to, I don't know, push through, or I don't really know how to deal with it that much.
Rip the Band-Aid off, put a big sign on your lawn that says psychic medium. You just run around your lawn. I'm here.
Yeah.
See, Con, no one would see it. I'm on a dead end street. I'm the last house.
Doesn't matter. You're putting the energy out there. You're starting
the driveway, Christy. I did that with my Reiki sign. Put it out at the end of my driveway. It's a big red sign that says Reiki by appointment only. And at first I put it out, and I'm like, oh boy, what did I just do? But it's amazing, because I'm in a small community here, and I wondered about that too, but not from the southern, more south, I think maybe a little bit different because it's not such a religious area, right?
Well, it is religious,
yeah.
Yeah. And that is it's more of a hindrance than a help for me, because people in this area are just like this when it comes to the Bible, and it's like what they read and however they interpret it is what they believe. And I'm not going to change that no matter what I say or do. And so, and I have, my family, my mom and my stepdad, they're very Bible strict, I guess is a term I can use, because they're always like, well, it says this in the Bible, and according to what I'm doing, it's the devil, and I'm channeling the devil, and I'm going to go to hell for it. And I'm not going to change their mind about that, because they're ingrained. That's something that they have. They're in their 80s. You know what I mean? So I hear what they have to say, and they're so semi-respectful to what I have to say, but we communicate okay. And so that's what I'm faced with when it comes to my immediate family. My children are pretty, they're kind of open to it and listen to me, but it's like my son, I can talk about it to him, but he don't really hear me.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, he's like listening to mom, but it's not really like clicking too much. And then my daughter, she seems interested, and she listens, and she's kind of I think she's more open, I guess I should say, and to everything, more so than anyone else in my physical space. So
I don't know, just what comes to mind for you, because that has to be a very challenging situation. I mean, that is very difficult, to be, I should have added to my story that what made it easier for me to just put myself out there as a medium, because I wasn't necessarily known as that even, after I left the religion. That's somewhat new. Was the support of my husband and his family, and just getting that support of my close friends and family. So that really helps. But yeah, to have family and just be like the only one out of the group that's, speaking like this and sharing this perspective and not getting any kind of like even openness to receiving that or even judgment on that. Yeah, that's got to be really hard, Christy. But I intuitively feel like, I don't know, I just keep hearing YouTube. I feel like YouTube for you is like, you got to go out there and sing to an audience that wants to hear what you have to say. Like, and you kind of have to maybe just blindly put your stuff out there, and then just know and just trust that audience is going to find you. Like, let them find you. Cause it doesn't seem like the community that you live in is very open to that. And as you start to develop that confidence in getting that support from that audience that you've created, it kind of builds momentum. So then your family's like, oh, that's interesting. Like, you're doing these YouTube videos, or what's all that about? And then they start watching, and then they're like, well, you might get their attention that way but that's not your necessarily intention, but it's just like an indirect side effect that you start to generate some buzz. And then that kind of gets people questioning, like, well, maybe that is something I need to look more into that, but I think just because, where you're at in this stage, it feels very like lonely. Like there's not a lot of like cheerleading you on or feeling of like, you're kind of self-generating that right now. I feel like that's where you're at. But, YouTube and what we're doing here is really, you have our support, and you have like this community to thrive off of. And then William Michael Forbes classes and the people you meet there. And so I feel like you could generate a lot with just staying in that direction for now, staying in that comfortable place where you are going to get that support.
Yeah, I've leaned toward YouTube for quite some time now, and I've even discussed it with you guys. And I think a lot of my hesitancy trying to get to that place of where I can make the videos and be comfortable is part of this. What I've been discussing is part of my block, and so it's like a hurdle. It's almost like a physical hurdle that I have to get over. I have been pushing and pushing. It's been like 3 years now since I started my YouTube with intentions of just doing videos or meditations or something like that. And now even when I do meditations for my classes or here with you guys or whatever, it's very easy. It comes to me quite naturally. And even before when I set the YouTube channel up, I wasn't comfortable doing, meditations or walking people through meditations or anything like that. But I knew that I needed to set the YouTube up and have it there and have it ready for when I was ready. But 3 years later, here I sit, and I still haven't really done anything besides our videos that are on there. So it's been a real struggle for me to get past this barrier to move forward. It's almost like it's just, I don't know, it's just like I haven't been able to, and I hate to say I can't because I know I can, but it's been it's made the struggle real.
Okay, let's do something. Let's do something here. I want to do something with you, and then Ariana has a really good event happening with her that I want to talk about her. So, Christy, if you'll allow me, what I'd like you to do is let's do some of the stuff that we know already. So, quiet yourself down for a minute, and just feel why hold the idea about going live on YouTube, and where does that show up in your body?
In my gut.
All right, good. So move your attention to your gut and just sit with it and feel yourself getting closer. And then ask it what the emotion is. Just feel what the emotion is coming from there in the gut.
It's fear. I feel it.
Yeah. And as you feel that fear, give it love, or just observe it and then give it some love. Say, I know you're scared. It's okay, but I'm here with you. You're not alone. I love you. And just feel how your gut responds.
It feels more relaxed. I can feel a tense. It's like it was like a tense ball. Like, it's like this. And then after some exercise and just sending some thoughts into it, I can feel, it's like this, and then I can feel it, I can feel it relaxing. So.
And then what is it saying? What's the emotion now as it relaxes? And just give it permission to relax. And just allow it. And just keep giving it some love. Keep telling it that it's not alone. You'll never be alone. You'll always be with it. I'll never abandon you. And feel it, how it responds.
It feels more relaxed and open. I can tell a difference, especially putting intentions, love intentions.
And how's it feeling? What is it saying to you?
It's saying, calm down. Like, get out of my head, kind of, you need to relax about it. Those kind of messages are coming through. It's just like, chill out.
And just give that area that love. Comfort it. Just sit with it. Be with it.
You have a lot of support in the comments as well, so you should get to those and after too.
Yeah, I don't want to go into a full session here, but we've been live streaming the Divine Soul Awakening to your channel for half of last year when we went all the episodes, and now this year. So you do have an audience. I think it's a matter of sharing it, but again, it's up to you. We can't force you to come out of your own closet.
Right. I love you guys. You guys are so much support to me, and sometimes I used to. I don't know. It seems like it's gotten like I never felt alone before, and I never felt like I had to do anything on my own. But I feel these feelings now, and I'm guessing it's just some stuff that I need to clear out, because it's like before I never felt them, and now I do. And so and that's confusing me too, because where it wasn't there before, and then all of a sudden it's like, where's this coming from? So that's something I've been trying to deal with too.
And I'm feeling it in the gut, and what I'm feeling, this is like your guides, your universe. This is everyone around you. It's not even just the bodily fear that happens there, but it's also what's driving you, because this is just going to continue to build up and get a bigger knot until you actually do go out there, because it's telling you, like, go out there, go out there, go out there. It's not even about the knot. It's the anxiousness to go live.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it too.
I do too.
I mean, you're getting all the signs. I mean, just look at the comments. Everybody's, in support of you, and
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's just ready to be released. Whatever that tension came up for a reason, it's there for a reason, and it just wants to be loved and released and let go, and so you can move forward. So it's no longer blocking you. Yeah.
You just got a ton of people all here, ready, supporting you, because that's our community too. We're love.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're sharing to the world is love, and anyone that is negative or attacking, that is a cry for love, because they need to project onto you and say something to you. But because your energy is love, and this is the energy that you put out there, when you go live on your channel, you're not going to get those type of people.
Right.
You're not going to get people come, because that's not what you're attracting. You are attracting only what you want. I know, Rachel, you've been live for quite some time. Just probably, I think the two of us, we've been on camera about the same amount of time. And is there any negative chatter that comes into you?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nice.
The most negative chatter I get is spammers that leaves like just a link of some nonsense. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. And even when one will, I think I have like maybe had this experience where like there's might be like two of my videos, maybe like I had like one negative comment or two. It's funny that those comments don't even, like, I don't even see them when they come through. It's just, it's not a coincidence that I just didn't actually, I missed the comment. I'll see it like months later. I'm like, oh, what was that? Oh, whatever. Like it doesn't even, touch me in that way. So yeah. I was getting, though, for you, Christy, while Con was just talking to you about that, I feel like you're going to start getting downloads about like how to do this and how to like create that opening for yourself. Cause I feel like this moment is kind of what you needed. You needed to kind of out in this moment live, in this moment, the amplification of that energy of all of us being here, of you saying that out loud, of you sharing that vulnerability of yourself out loud to all of us. And it's going to expand. It's going to open new doors for you. I think you're going to see new pathways of creativity and how you can express that part of yourself.
Yeah.
It's
Courage.
letting it go and like being able to talk about it, because I can't, you guys are the only ones I can talk to about anything.
Yeah. And you sharing that and having the courage to share that on live today helps me, because I'm in the same position you're at, getting ready to launch a YouTube, and I could totally resonate with the fears that you were talking about. But that's my body talking to me. That's that fight, flight, or freeze thing going on, where I'm not sure which way to go. If I tap into my intuitive, then I'm going to have what these two are talking about with their YouTube channel. So downloads are going to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that today, because and we're not the only ones that are getting ready to launch YouTube.
No, it's a new moon energy. I got some downloads the other night about that, and I'm doing I just did a video with Mother Mary, and she had a message for February with that. So now is the time, birthing something new this next week, I think, especially.
Yeah, well, today is 2/2/2022.
There you go. People are commenting about that too, and the comments, and it's like a portal date. So
right up through 2/22/22.
You're aligned.
There's a huge portal open. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a heavy one. Then I want to bring up, and it's from Ariana, and there's three parts to this. So she says, I recently experienced very real death communications with my past loved one who died 3 months ago today. At least 3 of them. I'm struggling for what I want to share with his mother, but I don't want to scare her, for her belief system is not as open to the way of spiritual enlightenment. She wants to say, I just feel for his mother because she is grieving so much. So how would you guys handle this? Let's tune in intuitively. Let's hear what the guides say. Let's just channel in, right? And what I'm getting right away, it's not even so much for you to share that communication, but to sit with her and to be in that vibrational state of communication. So you can just be with her and just have that and be open and compassionate and feel. You don't necessarily have to share the words, because really, you know it in your heart, you know it. And she knows it, even though she's not ready for it, but she is communicating on an energetic level. So I would sit with her, and I see yourself sitting beside her, and you are holding her hand, and you're just sharing the energy and just being there with each other. Now you can hold the thought and spirit and communication with them. You can say, I feel them. They're here. I feel they're talking to us. I feel them all the time. I feel them talking to me. And you can talk on the feeling level, because that's where she's feeling as well. She feels them, but she's afraid to talk as well. So I'd say talk on a feeling level. You don't have to say they're talking to me, I'm hearing it. I would go, I'm getting the feeling level. And that's what I see. Anyone else?
That's what I was getting to, was the vibration, to sit in that energy with her, in that vibration of this person. And that's just going to emit the feelings that's going to come through for her.
Yeah. The first thing I heard was be open, and receptive, so being aware of like where she's at and how, and kind of feel into that in the moment, if that feels right to bring that up to her. It's all about timing, and they're stressing like when the time is right. But set your intention that you want to share that with her. So set your intention for her highest growth, and the highest growth of all, that's what we would like to share that with her, if it's for her highest growth. And then trust that opportunity is going to present itself in a way that you're going to feel comfortable, a little more comfortable. You're going to see the opening in the moment for that to be shared. And you're going to feel her like it's a good time to share it. So you're going to have to intuit into that. So that's where the feeling, where she's at, and the vibration is going to come in. But there's going to be an opening, I feel, because there's a reason why he's coming to you. There's a reason why you can pick up on him. And there's a reason why he's giving you messages. And there's a reason why you're drawn to tell her. So when the time is right, and you're going to have to feel into that, but that's kind of part of what being a medium is. You get the information, you get the downloads, but you can't just, it's not always like in that moment that you have to share it. It's just like, sometimes you have to sit with that for a little while. And there might be a lesson for you in that, in your own experience and growth process as well, and trusting yourself. And, so that's kind of what I picked up on.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in line with what Rachel is saying. I got an image of putting your toe in the water. So I'm getting that as test the waters. And so kind of go with your gut feeling. Like Rachel said, there's going to be a time where there will be an opportunity that you'll feel it's an opening for you to bring or even drop some seeds so that she can, maybe open up and ask you, or you can like say a few things here and there. I'm getting that though, just kind of test the water, and that there will be an opening for you be able to discuss this.
One of the
And I'm
questions that
also
like came to mind when I was channeling that was that they kind of offered as like a suggestion to ask her is just like how does she feel about death? Like what are her views on I don't know if you mentioned that in the second app you're common, but it just if you know what she thinks about where people go when they pass on. I mean, sometimes people's beliefs can be a block to receiving. So just to get a better sense of where she's at in her own beliefs about that. But I feel like she would appreciate that. I mean, I'm hearing that she would appreciate that on a
Mhm.
who wouldn't? I think that's when you lose someone in that way, it's always comforting to hear that. And
Right.
from the people that I know that are mediums, whenever they've just openly shared what they got with someone, even if it was at their funeral, it's been well received. I've never heard of a time where it hasn't, especially if you're really clear in your communication. And so I feel like that's something to consider too.
Mm.
Yeah. And I'm also getting the
Oh,
biology
really
in your
interesting.
body. Yeah.
I
So she
heard that question, so maybe that's why they're saying that. Yeah.
I'm also getting your physical body. So it's also your ego that's nodding your body up. And I think this goes for all of us coming out of the spiritual closet, but it's the ego body as well that's trying to protect you from a bad situation. So
Mm.
also talk to your ego by saying, yeah, thank you for looking out for me. Because we had to remember the ego is like it's like our overprotective parent that's looking out for us
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
they want to protect us. So it's like, mom, dad, I got this. It's okay. I might scrape my knees, but it's okay. And you really got to talk to the ego as well that it needs to know that, okay, I got this. I know you're scared, but everything will be okay. Yeah. And I saw Lisa she channeled something as well.
Oh,
And
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. And Lisa, who's very connected as well, I'm getting
Mhm.
putting in on paper and writing her the letter, asking her only to open it when she's ready to receive the message. That's a great idea. Her
Mm.
guides will help her with being ready to receive. Wow, that's a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I've been following Alyssa's comments a little bit too. Maybe she's opening up it's kind of on what we're talking about coming out of the spiritual closet. She's wanting to start a spiritual business. And so this conversation is really helping her to feel confident and sending out her invites to her business page. Go, Alyssa. Yay.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. So let's all support Alyssa with that. It's a big step. I mean, coming out like on your business is another experience. It's like another level to like coming out of the spiritual closet. It's like now you're coming out as a medium who charges money for your services. That feels like a different thing in and of itself as well. So, but it's like anything else. You trust, you have faith, you you put yourself out there, and then the people, will that you can help will come to you. And I always just trust because I've learned through my experience that, you know, when someone comes to me, I have something to share with them. I have something of value to share, or they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't ask me for a reading. They could go to anyone for a reading, but the reason they came to me is because there's something I have to offer.
Mhm.
I'll leave with something. So I can trust that. Yeah.
mhm. And Marnie's saying, ask her if she's noticing any signs her son is around, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
And here's
Yeah.
Ariana. She says she said she's not yet, I guess, heard from him or felt him. When her husband died, she
Hmm.
said she did from him. Oh, so she
Mhm.
heard from her husband when he passed, but not from this other person.
So it sounds like she's open to receiving messages if she's had
Mhm.
that experience before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even her sharing that is kind of like a little like snippet of information that's just kind of drawing you in like a little bit more. Like there's a go sign there in a way, like she's saying that she's tuned in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. From her husband. Yeah. Felt her husband, not her son. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see
Mm.
that. I can see that. Whew.
Big topics, big topics.
Yeah. But it's huge, right? Coming
It
out
is,
and
yeah.
sharing this. There's just so much fear. The fear of judgment. The fear of judgment has always been my big one. It's taken me a long time to work on that one, fear of judgment. But once you start letting go and becoming more comfortable in your skin, especially as you practice, in our case, practice channeling, and you know that I am getting these messages. They're coming in clearer and stronger the more you spend time on this. But it really is like the family around you. That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And her son just died 3 months ago.
Mm.
Yeah,
And there's
okay.
the grief that goes into that too. It's like hard to accept, like sometimes that they're not here in the physical. Like it's just to try to connect with them on the other side it's like a paradox in that too. It's like you want to know that they're okay, but then it makes it more real that they're not here, you know. And it's like
Right.
you're still not used to them not being here.
Right.
So I lost my mom fairly recently in October of last year, and that's pretty much how I felt even as medium. It's just like, yeah, I'm getting the signs, but there's still this loss here that is like real. You know, you're not here, and you're not gonna be, and it's gonna take some time for her to process that grief. So I think you are being very respectful and conscious in how you approach that topic, and that's only going to it's support your growth and hers. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what Ariana says is she feels she couldn't do enough for her son, and that's very typical, especially for the feminine divine unit of the family, because you're just connected with everybody. And really, we have to remember that while we're here, we're on a stage. This is an actor suit. We've put on this bodysuit, and we come in as male, female. We come in as this personality that we call Con, Jenny, Rachel, Christy, and we have this life experience. But going to the other side just means that we're moving off stage. We've gone back home. But the majority of people are not like your mother-in-law. She's not going to know this. Like she's not going to understand that aspect unless you really are getting to a stage where you really are feeling comfortable with it. So I mean, I also have a very different understanding of death that I'm probably not allowed at many funerals anymore. Like I think that's many of us, because we see it going home. It's like a celebration. It should be celebrated. It's a good thing, but it's tough. It's tough. At least to have that comfort. You know, she did everything that she needed to do. She did everything. She's a great mother. Otherwise, if she didn't, she wouldn't have been asking the question. She wouldn't be questioning her. She did amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, she did amazing. She did everything that she needed to do. And, you know, some people are not meant to be here. The world is shifting so much that we had a lot of deaths. Those deaths were supposed to happen. People aren't not necessarily meant to be part of this next waking world. Or they were here to help other people to get to a point to help them ascend and awaken. And now, okay, I'm done. I'm moving off stage now. My job in this act is done. I've influenced people. I've triggered people. I've made them happy. I made them angry. I did my job. Because it doesn't matter whether good or bad. Everything is all good, because it's all meant to happen in terms of our spiritual growth and ascension.
Yeah, and kind of like as you were saying that, I was hearing like the time was right, like almost from his team or whoever was saying that. For him, that was the sense I was getting. Like that was his time, and there was nothing that she could do to change that, because the soul chooses when it wants to exit. It's given a choice on the higher level. So his higher self, his oversoul, or whatever you want to call it, like made that choice. Based on the timing and the growth, how that would be a catalyst of growth for his mom, I'm sure, and the people around him. So, yeah.
And we never die. Really,
yeah.
You just shifted into an energetic state. So now, instead of using your physical eyes, use your feeling. Go into your heart. And many people who have passed have come to me. I've just quickly told them to begin to breathe into your heart and breathe and feel with your heart. And just feel the love and hold them in your image, in your mind, and just hold them in your heart and feel. And you will experience them. Hold them in and you'll feel them. Even the loons agree.
Yeah.
Balloons are calling.
Balloons are calling.
I think that's one of the biggest blessings too, when we circle back around to coming out of the spiritual closet, is the fact that when we have these messages come through to us, the blessing and that we can share this with a person who's lost somebody can be a truly amazing experience for both people, you know what I mean? And how nice is that to be able to tell somebody who's grieving and is open to that their loved one is okay and their loved one is there for them and still continues to be there beside them, you know?
And something else that you can do, there's a lot of mediums that are online that do channeling. And you can even join me this Friday at 12 noon when I do good couple of hours of channeling. And many people have just passed, like, bring her. Hey, let's go watch it. Let's go ask a question. Let's go have some fun. And just ask a question. Like, okay, do you have a message from my son, my so-and-so? I don't need names. Many of us don't need names. We just connect on the energetic level. So connect with a medium and just say, hey, can I have a message? And I would give that a whirl. Yeah. Nice, Jenny.
Yeah.
And you got this. You're surrounded by a lot of people, a lot of family, a lot of love, the angels, guides, everyone's around, and it's all going to work out just perfectly.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, should we transition into another topic, or was there any other comments we wanted to go over? I'm not sure. How do you guys feel?
Well, we can move into readings then.
Yeah, I was thinking it might be a good time since we're kind of talking about mediumship and feeling into things. Okay, so who wants to? Well, if you guys have a question, I guess we need to invite you to ask if you want a reading from one of us. We'll just kind of take turns with those. Oh, Kay is asking. So I'm just gonna maybe hand out as the questions come in or as I see them. Kay is asking, can I ask about my guides? Who do he or she feel I'm doing? Jenny, do you want to take that one to start?
Sure.
Yeah, and then I see Lisa is wanting a reading also, Con. And then I haven't seen any others come through, but we'll wait a little bit. Give you guys a minute. And then whenever you're ready, you can maybe start. Jenny, if you're ready.
Just a second.
Yep.
Okay, well, I can kick us off.
Sure.
And I'll do Lisa, and then we'll circle back.
And then real quick, Christy, do you want to take MT Marnie?
There's just a general question, general reading.
Yeah, general reading. And I'll take one for Grace because I see that that's the last person so far. So go ahead, Con. I'm sorry.
No. All right. Who wants to come in for Lisa? Well, I'm feeling goddess energy coming in. Possibly Isis or Kalima. Strong female goddesses coming through. And I'm feeling it's like they're standing on a mountain and they're standing with a staff and a rod, but it's almost like a glowing rod that's pointing the direction up the mountain. And I feel that this is they're leading you, and you are leading your own army of thousands, but it's like they are being your guide. It's almost like Joan of Arc. Oh, Joan of Arc. Okay. So I'm getting the Joan of Arc leading how she led the armies, this young woman leading the armies, and she was just completely channeled and open and following the guide. And they're doing that with you now. You are their Joan of Arc, and you're being led on this. And it's time for you to get into those areas of uncomfort and coming out of your spiritual closet. It's time. And you know this. You're trying to figure it out, but you have enough of us around that will be able to support you and work with you and help you with that spiritual move into coming out to the forefront in the spotlight.
It's so funny, Con, that you picked up on Joan of Arc. Well, it's not funny because I was talking about the February update I did, and she's one of, well, it wasn't just Mother Mary, but it was Joan of Arc and Buddha as well. The three of them had a a message in that update, and it's so true. She is so with us right now, Joan of Arc. I mean, she's come through a lot for me recently with clients as well. Because of that same message Khan is giving you, like it's time to speak your truth, and this is just what he said. So it's beautiful confirmation of that. So next up is Jenny for Kay.
Yeah. So Kay, I had a female guardian angel come through for you, and she's showing me you paddling in a quiet stream with gentle breezes coming around you, moving gently along on your journey. And when you feel resistance, to spin your heart around in the stream of your consciousness to move forward to less resistance and following the flow. But you are on the right path, even though you may feel that you have had some little pushes and some little resistance, like you've been going against the current. But follow that stream, follow that thought, follow your heart, because that will lead you to where you need to go. I hope that resonates with you, Kay.
Okay, so Christy, are you ready? Christy, you had I can't remember who that was. Marnie, yeah.
Yeah, I had I'm feeling it's like Archangel Michael and also Saint Germain is coming in for you. And I just did some just like some writing and let it flow through. And I got, there is an illusion of an obstacle before you. I am here to let you know this is an illusion. This matter before you has spent a lot of energy that is unnecessary. Release this block and move forward. So I hope that resonates.
Yeah, okay. And then I have a message for Grace. I had Archangel Michael came in right away, and I haven't really fully tuned in, but a little bit. It has to do with working your light, your magic, letting your light shine. I'm hearing like spotlight, but it seems like hearing the spotlight is on you. So it feels like you're being pushed to go in a certain direction, in alignment with your highest growth. And it's part of your mission. It's part of your life plan. It feels like something you've been thinking about doing. Maybe there's some hesitancy around it or some fear around it. Maybe fear of rejection, I'm hearing. It feels like they're saying self-sabotaging, limiting beliefs. So it feels like there might be some self-sabotaging beliefs that you're kind of maybe you feel not ready for this, to take on this role, but it feels like this is part of your path and this is part of your way forward. And I just see them like nudging you, and they're wanting to give you confidence in it and help you shift and change in a new direction. So it feels like it's more, this direction will be more in alignment with where your heart wants to go. I can't tell you where that is. It could be with work. That's kind of more the feeling I'm getting, but tune into that and see how that resonates for you. Yeah.
Love that.
So that was the 4 readings that we started with. I did kind of go back I was kind of keeping track who the next comments were, and there was a question from Amy. There we are. And Amy, Jenny, would you want to answer that question for Amy? Then we had, yeah, and she would love to know, is this a good month to start my online Etsy spiritual t-shirt shop? Any guidance, sorry, on this would be great. Thank you. And let's see. Yolanda was the next one, who I think wanted a general reading. And Khan, you can take Yolanda. Okay. And then I had Karen with the general reading for Christy, and then June for a reading.
I didn't hear you cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Karen. Karen wanted a general reading.
Okay.
And I'll take June.
So Amy, your guides are telling me that only you know the answer to whether this is a good month to start. But if you're feeling it in your heart that it's time to go for it, because with this new portal that's opened up right now, it is a perfect time to open and expand. And I keep getting the flag, like, go for it, go for it. They're showing me a flag and they're waving it like it's time, the race is on, and to set out on this journey of yours with your t-shirt shop, that no time is better than the present. And yeah, I'm getting a big thumbs up. I'm seeing they're giving me thumbs up for you to go for it, Amy.
Awesome. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm up. I forgot where we were
Lead you into that.
Okay, so let me see. Get a message for Yolanda. I'm feeling a slight tear, as if you're being pulled in more than one direction, which is more of your monkey mind. Your own mind is actually pulling you in multiple directions. And I find a need for you to become quiet with it, become a little bit more calming, to be able to manage it a little bit better. And it starts with calming the mind. There's a real need to really get into your meditation, Yolanda, and becoming a little bit more serious about it. You've been kind of on this teeter-totter going back and forth for so long now. And as you've been more on one side of disbelief than belief on the other, but really this is a confirmation that this is part of your spiritual awakening. You know what's happening with you. And all those past events are past events. They're meant to be in the past for a reason. And it was all meant for your spiritual growth and movement in opening up your awareness. So as you shift into a more open state, a more aware state, you'll get more comfort within yourself and body. In your own state, it doesn't mean that this is going to be easy in your own mind, but this is something that is part of your path. It's part of your contract. It's part of your lesson. It's what you're here to learn. And it's to become comfortable in your skin, to know that you're not crazy, to know that anyone else is doing to you. But the physical manifestations that are showing up in your body are just that. They're just ways to wake you up and shift your attention. So use that as a positive and not necessarily a negative, even though when you feel these things, it is a positive thing that's happened to you. And that's what I'm getting for you. Yeah. And who's Karen? I missed that.
Christy?
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, Christy. Sorry, I was tuning out for a minute.
Hi, Karen. I got spend time in meditation, and I'm feeling like this is coming from your higher self. It's a message for you. And spend time in meditation, release the stress. Your mind makes things seem harder than in actuality. Breathe and take some time for yourself.
Nice.
Nice. Very good. And I was that it, Chris?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, good. I was tuning in for June. So I was just kind of June. Yeah, any messages from your guides? I like how great I am. Yeah. Well, they're showing that they support you. I was kind of tuning in for a second to your team to see who on your team would like to step forward. And I just felt like your male guardian angel kind of coming in more forward. But he started saying, like, speak up more, speak your truth, like, louder. There's like a vision you have, I think, for yourself is what I'm feeling. That it just needs to be amplified. It needs to be made more clear. Maybe it feels like there's some planning involved on some projects that you might be working on. That is, they keep highlighting vision, having a clearer picture in your mind's eye, or a clearer intention, even around what you're trying to accomplish with this task, what your reason is, what your purpose is, and kind of finding yourself again through this experience. I'm hearing also finding your joy again, they're saying. So they're highlighting joy for you and laughter being important for you to stay aligned, which makes sense. But you put that little joke in there. So, but yeah, they're just saying, stay you, like continue to be you. You're raising your vibration, and it feels like you're lifting the spirits of others. I feel like that's what they're showing me. And you're being guided in this direction. So it feels like you're listening to your guides. It feels like you are honoring their advice in a way, and honoring your journey. And you're kind of going with the flow of this process and allowing it to lead you where it wants to go. And it feels like you're tuning in more to what your heart is wanting you to do as well. So I feel like a little bit of this is a message of affirmation of what you're, or validation of what you're doing for you, but that you're like on the right track. Just feels like centered and stable is what I'm feeling, and steady progress ahead. So I hope that resonates.
Love it.
And
Okay, so where are we at now?
that I lost track of. So
Okay. So
we
next
stopped
we
at
have
June. So back to
we have one for Regina. Let me see. Wendy, Ariana would like to connect with Brett, and another one for Alyssa, and we have a fifth one for Marlene. So we can see if we can get through these. We got about 15 more minutes to go.
So we switched order on the screen. I was just going kind of around what was on the screen. Oh, wow. Interesting. So who are we starting with? Who wants to, is this Regina as the next question?
Yeah. So this would be for Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I got one for Wendy. Christy, are you able to channel with beings, Christy? With Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so you can connect with Brett for Ariana to get a message. And then Rachel, you'll have Alyssa.
Did you say Brett?
Alyssa.
Yeah, so Ari, this is for you, Christy. If anyone's able to connect with Brett, if he has any input on my situation, if he's not here to do, any of my other guys have anything to share with me. Got that one? Okay. That was for that. And let me come back. June. Okay, so we have Regina next. You ready for that?
Not quite. I'm trying to come up with the name. If somebody's ready to go first.
So I'll start with Wendy then. Unless Rachel, you're ready?
I can be.
All right, I'll just do it. All right, I'm here. Message. I've been infusing spring water with geometric codes. Should I keep doing this? And right away, Metatron comes in and says, why not? Why wouldn't you keep doing this? You have intention as you do this. You have a certain intention with the geometric codes that you're using. And it's that intention that you're infusing into the water. And this is only going to be a benefit to you. By using it in the right context and state, you're using it the right way. So yeah, that was a big yes. There's a nice easy one. Done.
Okay. did you want me to go next?
Yeah, you're doing
I
Alyssa?
can. Yeah. Do you want to pull up? Yeah. So Alyssa is asking, should I go all into my business, leaving my old job behind, or go through the motions in my current job while I get this project going? Thoughts and guidance, please, and thank you. Okay, Alyssa, I'm going to tune in for you. They're kind of showing me like, take a pace that's comfortable for you. Like what feels right to you. I mean, I don't see them. It doesn't feel like they're pushing you to go all in this moment. It feels like they're wanting you to take your time with this. It's a process of growth and learning. So you're learning every step of the way. It's not just one thing that you're learning. It's multiple. There's multiple layers to this of integration. So it's an integration process. You're taking on new skills is what they're saying actually, and as you develop these skills, your intuition, you're developing your intuition and what feels right for you in the moment, what you can handle and what you can't handle, what you're ready to take on and what you're just not ready for in that moment. So it feels like you would be they're kind of saying you would feel more comfortable keeping your position if that's available to you, if that's options available to you, but it would be more bold for you to just, let that go. So that would be kind of a bolder, a statement for you to make, expression to the universe. But it's what you feel ready for. What do you feel confident in doing? It's really up. It's them wanting you to check in with your own confidence levels and how empowered you feel in making those choices. So if you feel empowered to make those choices and you feel supported in the universe to make those choices all in, you could do that. But if you feel like a pullback on that one in this moment, then go at a steady pace. I feel like they're saying that would be more comfortable for you and where you're at right now in your growth process. So I hope that helps you out. And do we have others?
You're muted, Con.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah, we have 4 left.
Yeah, so this was a new energy for me to tap into. And the message that was coming through for me was to be strong, move forward, connect with others, and to stay tuned in with your school. And the name that came to me was Durango. I'm not sure where that came from. I know there is a Durango fish out there. So it was very interesting that I was hearing school and fish and groupings of that. And then the last part I heard was we would like you to call on us anytime, that we are always here with you. So it was limited because of new energy for me, but hopefully part of that resonates for you, Regina.
Nice and simple. Okay, next we have Christy to give a message for Ariane from Brett. Okay.
Ariana, I'm just what I've been trying to tune into him, and it's like he is just laughing, and it's like he is I don't know what that means. I can't really get him to communicate with me in words, but he is like laughing and uncontrollably laughing, and it's like he's wanting to say that he's just so happy, and the only way that he can express that is through laughter. And I was like, do you have a message or something that I can tell her? And he is just like just this big old huge belly laugh, and I don't know what your relationship is with this person, but that's all I'm getting is a bunch of laughter. I'm not getting any specific messages for you, so
Love that. Love that. Okay, so next we have one from Marlene, and maybe Jenny, if you want to do that one.
Okay.
And you're gonna do this. So we'll end with. I know Rachel did Marianne before, so Rachel, I'm gonna give you this one for Christy. Pardon, for Kira, and Christy, for you, it's going to be for Marianne. What message do I need to hear from my higher self? So I'd like to end with one of you two. So with Rachel or Jenny.
Can you put the question back up for me?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
That's okay. Thank you.
You were Marlene, right?
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
There we go.
So they're showing me a crest of a wave that's been down into a lower part and is starting to make the surge up. And you can see the crest of the wave has the bubbles that come across the top of it, that all of this new energy is coming in at this time, and that it's going to come up to a certain point and swell a little bit back down again. But each time it comes up, it's going to come up a little bit higher, and that your business will continue to grow this year. That's the message that I'm getting.
Love that. Love that. Okay, let's I'm going to come to Christy first. You okay with that, Christy?
Yeah.
And we have Marianne Scott, who's asking, what message do I need to hear from my higher self?
Mary Ann, I'm getting it's like I'm getting this list of self-care and like a cleansing bath, and what I would recommend for that is baking soda and Epsom salt, and like lavender is a great essential oil to add to that too. It's a good detox. And to relax is another thing on the list. And I also got go outside and ground. Maybe sit outside. I'm getting an image of you sitting against a tree and connecting with earth and grounding yourself. So it's like a to-do list that I got for you. Hope that helps.
Love that. And the last one that we have is Rachel for Kira.
Okay, and Kira's asking, will I be able to go to Nepal? My dream is to see the Himalayas. I'm just wondering if work will give me the time off. So just tuning in. It's like the energy around that is like your wish is our command. Like whatever you desire, you can, it's like tap into that empowering belief, set that intention, allow the energy to clear for that to manifest. It does feel though like there's maybe what's blocking this from happening, or it could be like the expectation of the timing of it, or the outcome of it. There's something attached to the outcome that might, like an expectation of some sort, that feels like it's blocking. There's creating some resistance to allow this to actually fully manifest. That might be what you're picking up on, why you're even questioning it. But they're highlighting not to have doubt, so that in the belief that it will. And to continue, it's like continue doing your research as if you're going. Continue to look at pictures and find the hotels you want to stay at and create the itinerary you want to have. Whatever, those action steps are going to bring that into manifestation faster by you just believing that you're going to do this, and it's inevitable. It's right around the corner. The opening is going to happen, and you're preparing for that outcome. So physically preparing for that outcome is going to help that you attain that quicker. So I hope that helps.
Love that.
Nice.
And that's it. Yeah, Jenny, you want to take us out?
Sure.
Or not.
Yeah.
That's
No.
okay too.
So, Rachel, what do you have coming up next week?
Nothing as far as live events go. I'm still working that out into my schedule. So nothing in the plans yet, but I just have, my YouTube channel. I talk about that a lot. I already kind of mentioned a few things that I'm going to be posting soon. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. And then I am doing a lot of intuitive coaching sessions with people. So I work one-on-one with people, and we can help you develop your channeling abilities, get more confident in connecting to your team, or work towards goals of manifestation. So, and I also do readings too. So that's really all I'm doing right now.
And that's what we're going to be doing next week. Next week is about readings. So,
it's about practice, actually.
Yes.
We're going to do the practice channeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where we all kind of participate together in the comments and everything. And we do little fun sensing energy, kind of telepathic, like lots of different exercises to kind of help us develop our intuitive abilities. So it's always a good time.
And Con, what do you got coming up this week?
Well, what have I got going on?
Our busy man.
No, I've settled down a little bit, but so this Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/connight on my channel here, I will be doing channeling Eric again. So Eric, Archangel Eric has stepped forward again that he wants to take the lead of the guidance and intuitive questions that we bring on Fridays. So that will be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And pretty much whoever comes in and leaves a comment, I go straight through, usually goes for about 2.5 hours, and I'll mark everyone's messages in the comments afterwards. And then that's really it for this week. And then next week, like you said, we have Wednesday, Divine Soul of Family. We'll be back to do the practice session, and then channeling Eric again. I am going to start doing more emotional releasing again. So 3 things: emotional releasing, practicing, and channeling messages. And those are the 3. So I am going to be doing more emotional releasing on here, and just getting ready for that. And I am looking for people. If anyone wants a one-on-one emotional release, I'm looking for a little bit of feedback from people as I do that. So reach out if you want a one-on-one guided emotional release.
Nice. I've done that before with Con. It's really cool.
Con, you said Divine Soul Family as the name of our show, which is not which is like more true probably than the other.
It's what came out. Oh
yeah, I love it.
That was good. Yeah. Christy, what do you have going on coming up this week into next week?
Well, normally I always say I don't never have anything, but I'm going to commit to doing a meditation video. I'm not sure if I'll do live on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to do it tonight for the 222. And so my internet is currently off, but I think it probably will be on later on this evening. So I'm going to invite you guys to like my YouTube channel and support me in a video so that I can commit to that and like start somewhere.
There you go. All right.
You got the download. You got
awesome, Chris.
Yeah. And support you guys. Thank you all so much. Your support really just my heart is like so expanded to you guys, and I'm sending big huge hugs because I couldn't do it without you. I really couldn't, and I want to thank each and every one of you. I love you.
Love you, girl.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. Does anybody else have anything to share before we sign out for the week? All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here today and your comments and your questions. And it's always a pleasure to be here, sharing the love and the heart.
Bye, all. Much love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.